Action here, and I am reporting this evening from inside the VR world, Altspace VR, from Tarot Temple. And I'm going to do readings for people who want them this evening. So let's see how everything goes. Hi, how are you?
Hey, sir. How are you?
Very good. Good to meet you. So you're here for Tarot Temple, I see.
Yes, sir. That
Is
would
it
be
like-
correct.
Well, the idea here is that we have this gigantic, gargantuan screen up here with three cards on it.
Right.
And we can shuffle this deck by using the control panel in the tent over there. And
Right.
basically, if you want a tarot reading, you'll give me a number from 1 to 10, and I will make the three cards change that number of times. So the three cards, say you pick 6. On the sixth set of three cards that show up randomly, those will be the cards for your reading. And then I will give you the reading. And we're just going to do this live for this event for the next couple of hours and just enjoy the tarot.
Interesting.
So
I mean,
if you go ahead.
Yeah. How actually is it really random?
Yes. Well,
mean-
it's as random as you can get with computer code
Right.
without going to extremes. So what it is
it's
behind the
pseudo-random.
scenes, exactly. It's the kind of random where you use a function in JavaScript to randomize some math, and it pulls out a random number. But for all intents and
Yeah.
purposes, for our purposes, it's as random as you're ever going to get.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's cool. That's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm just make sure everybody can hear me. I put my my megaphone thing on. Let me see. I have a
How do we sign up?
I'm looking at I see. Oh, there's a hand raise. Yes. Okay, Hathor. Yes. I'm just sort of getting the hang of hand raises and stuff. But so since I started talking to you first, Ditto, I think that you should present the first question. If you would
Sure.
like a reading, it's totally up to you. You don't have to, but you can just hang out. You don't have to have a reading.
Right. I mean, I would like a reading, to be honest.
Absolutely. I'm ready. Ask your question, and I will then do what I'll start shuffling the cards, and we'll see what we get.
Okay. What type of question can I ask? What are my range? Anything?
I would say ask what you want. The only advice I would give is everyone should understand that tarot card readings can't tell you something that a doctor would tell you, or a lawyer, or an accountant. They don't tell
Right.
you how to spend your money, or what medicine to take, or what is definitely going to happen tomorrow with traffic on the freeway. But what they do is they give you things to think about and ponder, possibilities for you to sort of new roads to take down. That's the best of tarot. So you ask anything you like. It's your ball game, and I will simply do the reading.
Got it. So, right. So next year I'm planning on a trip to Europe, but also at the same time, I also got to study. So I'm at a crossroads where I don't know which decision to take and what's actually going to be beneficial for my life and my career ahead. So maybe just some guidance on that.
Okay, so there's a trip to Europe, and there's also study, and the two things, how to balance those two
it's
desires.
one or the other. Yeah, it's
one or the other. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go into the tent and screen. I'm going to make it change. Oh, pick a number between 1 and 10.
I'll choose. I'll go with 7.
7. Okay, I'll do it 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Okay. Okay. 3 cards. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the way these cards lay themselves out, and sort of take the general approach of a 3-card reading, with the left card representing something sort of receding, something moving into the past that you're maybe you're moving beyond. The middle card is the very heart of the issue right now, something to really think about now. And upcoming is on the right side, something to ponder or to attain going forward. So what you've got here, first of all, on the left, in the past receding position, you've got the 4 of Cups. The cups are the feeling. They're the heart, the emotion of the thing.
Right.
And 4 is a very stable number. It's safety and security. So what it's implying is trusting one's feeling, one's desire, one's heart, following one's heart. And so the suggestion is you really don't have a problem typically doing that, following your heart, doing what you want to do, and you feel secure in these wishes that you have, and these emotions to drive you perhaps to go places or to follow a course of study. Okay, now that stable, safe 4 is something you can rely on like a bedrock. Can also, at times, if you're too reliant on it, it can become overly cautious. That's just one of the possibilities contained in the 4. So let's think about that. A very stable, secure sense of emotional kind of trust in your own heart. Now, moving into the center. Okay, Queen, Wands. Wands are they're the torches of life. They're the creative energy, the drive, the will to do, to make, to be something, to become. They're the driving force behind artistic creation, any kind of creation, even at your work, something you want to do and you're able to put your talents forward to do it. And the Queen is a significant court card, which means that it's sort of a longer lasting personality trait that you may have. And she has a very deep sense of mastery. And she uses her skills for nurturing and growth, and brings life to things and people around her. That nurture word is important. So in the realm of creative energies, which may involve your studies, but also involve what you gain from travel, you can think about this sense of mastery, calm mastery, and calm methodical decision making that she has. She represents knowledge and authority, but with this nurturing quality to help growth happen. Now, that growth may represent you, it can represent family, people around you, but it's definitely there. So you've got these 2 cards: the stable trust in your heart, in your desires, your feeling, and your sense of mastery and skill in anything you put your heart to make things. Now, leading forward, you get, it's typically known as the devil card. Tricky card, because what happens is people look at it and go, oh my God, it's the devil. But you see, the devil actually represents a multitude of different forces. It can represent being sort of stuck in, you can yoke yourself to an idea or a passion and become too obsessed with it. That's the negative quality. But positive qualities of the devil are fearless pursuit of what you're your creative talents and your heart are telling you to do. That's the hallmark of the devil card is absolute fearlessness, which can sometimes become overly uh, controlling,
Right.
demanding, dominating. So that is a card that's saying be careful going forward of being too obsessed with one particular aspect of what you're doing. Perhaps it's one side of your equation, your duality there, your
Right.
travel or your study. Be careful about being locked in to one or the other of those. That's what
Yeah.
that card is kind of warning. So the overall reading is saying trust your heart and your feelings. Trust what it is you really love to do because you have the skill and mastery of yourself and your talents. Rely on them and let that mastery guide you to prevent you from falling into some sort of a locked down mode or hyper obsessive sort of focus.
Right.
That's, yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So it doesn't
Full
make the
honesty.
decision for
Yeah.
you, but it
Mm-hmm.
kind of gives you these things to rely on and to consider, and a little red flag there at the end to
Yeah.
beware of. Yes.
Oh man, like honestly, to be full honesty, I thought this was gonna be BS. Um, this this would be just some random you going off of my question and just trying to play around the cards, but oh, you pretty much nailed my situation right now. Because
Oh,
actually, I'm
good.
going to Europe to film a documentary, which I got sponsored
Oh,
for.
that
So
sounds awesome. Yeah,
yeah, I'm a filmmaker, so it's gonna be
that's fabulous.
interesting thoughts. I appreciate this
Yeah, yeah.
insight on your reading.
Well, I hope you do make the documentary.
Yeah,
I think whatever you do, you're going to make a wise choice. And that's what tarot does. Tarot isn't there to tell you whether or not an asteroid's going to fall out of the sky in your backyard tomorrow. It's not.
yeah,
That's not what it does. It talks to you about things like when you walk into a museum and you see paintings on the wall, and one of them
yeah.
catches you and makes you really start thinking about all these things, and it makes you see life in a different way. That's what tarot does, actually. So
Appreciate it, man. Good job.
you're welcome. All right. So if anyone wants a question, let me see if is there a hand raise going on that I should be aware of? Let me see. Oh, Aku. Um, Aku. Let me see. Where are you?
Aku,
Is that
there, behind you.
Aku? Okay, hi. Yes. It's your turn. You can ask whatever you would
Yay!
like.
I've actually gone to tarot readers before, and I was told that
Yeah.
I'm following my life purpose and my destiny right now, but things are not moving the way that they were a few months ago. And
Okay.
I was I was offered a job without a contract to go to Qatar, and I'm wondering to be a screenwriter and to work with my
Okay.
I'm wondering if that's something that still looks like it's in the future and the plan for me, or if I should just rethink my path.
Okay, so things basically the gist of it is things aren't quite going the way they were before. You have an opportunity that's been offered, but you don't know if you should go that way or not.
If it's still an offer, because we haven't heard in a while, there were some hiccups. So
Okay.
I'm trying to look
Okay.
for it to still manifest itself, or do I kind of take off in a different path?
Ah, okay. So I understand this kind of thing. This happens to all of us constantly. With work and life decisions, yes. And so let me pick a number between 1 and 10.
3.
3. Okay, I'm going to switch the cards on screen 3 times with the randomizer. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, so right off the top, what we've got here are cups, coins, and wands. So we've heart, we've got body, material, and we've got creative energy. Now, on the left, this is kind of a slightly receding force for you. This is, again, we have a queen figure, mastery of self, profound authority, nurturing, life giving. There's a sense of influence on people around you for the always thinking about them, thinking about how to benefit someone, how your actions, the effect they have on other people around you. That kind of thought process is innate, natural to you with this queen card. And this queen card is, she's got the heart, the cup representing the life of her emotional life. It's got a lid on it. It's closed. She's pondering it. She's fascinated and focused on it. It's still a bit of a mystery to her because it's closed in this picture. Most of the cup cards are open. So she's there, and you see she has that sort of baton resting on her shoulder. That, let me get my little laser pointer so I can, here. Okay, there's my little laser pointer. So you see she's got that wand there. And that is, again, representative of her ability to be incisive and creative. And she can almost use that thing. She, at some point, will apply it to pry open and use her knowledge and her wisdom to explore the depths of her heart, her own heart. In other words, getting to know herself. But the fact that it's the queen image is an indicator that this is a positive process destined for this, because she has all of this skill and accomplishment behind her. So she can do this. There may be some doubts she's had, but fact is she can get there. Now, this is something you kind of don't have to worry so much about now because this card is on the left. This is something you can go, okay, yeah, I can explore my heart. I get that, and I don't have to worry so much about it. And
So,
now,
if that's the past, then does that mean it's over, or it's just handled and we're moving on?
it means, trying to grab my pointer again, sorry. It means that you can let go of worries about this. Snyder phrased this as, this is the past. And that's just sort of a clumsy way of saying it's a receding energy. It's the tide moving out, and you don't have to ponder this quite so deeply anymore. You can trust that this is in you and that you will get there. You will open that cup. But it's basically saying this is something that sets you up for the next thing. It's something in you that's recognized and other people see it. You can start to see it now and not worry about it. That's basically what being on the left means. Now, coming into the center, you have the great representation in coins of physical world, body, your health, your work, money, your wherewithal, your food, anything material that you require to do what you do, to live, to feel secure. And this is the ace of that suit, which is the infinite potentiality card. It's the dawning card. It means that this comes into consciousness. This sort of, and we're talking now about
Is
life
that like
decisions
the Ace
and
of
work.
Pentacles?
Your pentacles, which is coins, yes, they represent
Okay.
the physical world or the job world. In other words, wherewithal, sustenance, income, that kind of thing. Now, this ace is non-specific because it's the dawning of the big red light coming up and going bang, bang, bang. Hey, look over here. This is huge. This is of great importance right now. And it's something that's coming to the forefront of your consciousness. This could be job. What am I going to do next? What is the big opportunity for me? Well, this is saying that not only is this becoming important to think about, but there's enormous possibility. That's why that huge ace coin is staring you in the face. And so that means that it means really think about what your next step is. If there is an offer, perhaps it has incredible significance. Now, just to the right of that is the Two of Wands. The wands are the creative juice behind what you do, what your talents are. Urge to create in any realm whatsoever. It doesn't have to be screenwriting. In your case, it may be. It can be any endeavor. But what this too is the act of gathering force, unification, coupling, two elements coming together in preparation to move forward and take action in the world and actually really attack something and build something. That too means that the talent and skills are prepared and they are set for whatever demand is presented to them. So this is saying overall, you have this ability to explore the depths of your feeling, your heart, to know what your heart is. It takes work though. Keep at it. You've got this ability. Keep digging. Your focus on job and wherewithal is very, very correct because it's dominant here in the middle, and upcoming is this great strength of preparation to launch you forward in that choice that you make. You have the tools. They're in your pocket. You're ready to go.
So do I move on or not?
You move on from this offer?
Yeah. Or do I just
Well-
keep hoping it happens?
Well, I think what it's saying is here, just sitting back and hoping isn't necessarily what this queen does. She actually wants to get inside and make her choice. That's a personality trait. So I don't think that necessarily includes wait. She's not waiting for that thing to open. She's queen. She has power. So the idea here, the reason she's holding that sword-like thing is she has the capacity to take serious action very, very quickly. So she's not sitting and waiting. It's just something to think about.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're
That's
very
awesome.
welcome. Very welcome. Yeah. All right. I think I have another. Let me see what that is. There's another hand. Hand raise. Luminous L.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Luminous?
Here.
Oh, okay. There you are. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes. So I just want to know next year what it's coming to be in
Okay, in-
2022.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, that's a big, broad
Very
question.
general.
Okay, let's pick a number from 1 to 10.
Okay, 5.
Okay. Let me go over to the tent and press the button 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ha ha. Okay. All right, Luminous.
Mhm.
Again, coins have arrived on the left. And in the middle, we have a major arcana card, a deep, big, profoundly important personality, deep psyche card. And on the right, we have another number card. And it's a swords. It's the intellect and thought and belief and can also represent conflict. Uh, okay. Let's think about this receding force, something you don't have to necessarily worry too much about. And we're talking about next upcoming year. This is the material. This is work and everything you own or want to own or have or need or to take care of yourself. All of that kind of sustaining energy on the left there. And you're talking about the 9th card in a 10-card cycle. And the 9th card is the penultimate card, the card of almost being over the top of the hill. But it's the card that says you got to keep pressing. You got to put the last big effort in before you get over the hump and win the battle. Okay? And this is in work, or this could be health, this could be anything physical, money related. This is saying there's a requirement to stick to it, to persevere. And that implies, at the same time, that perseverance is bringing huge growth. So we're talking about the future here in general for the whole reading. So we interpret that then, this left card, as something you're bringing in with you. You're bringing in an ability next year to persevere and really put that last mile into the marathon to get to the finish line. Now, that is reinforced by the middle card, which is strength, la force. It's a deep-rooted card in your psyche. And now there are aspects to this card where it's like, okay, what you doing to that animal? Why would you grab a dog's snout that way? You know, if the dog's choking on something, you might do it. But what it is in general is the implication is that she has a form of mastery over the natural world, over elements, over animal force, over things that aren't well understood. Instinct. Animal represents more of an instinctual force. She has an ability to handle these psychological functions, these more instinctive movements of the mind. She's able to see them at work and to use them. Okay, so that's ingrained. That's a very important card. So not only does she have this ability to persevere for the last mile in her work, but she has this basic strength that's always been there to deal with very deep, misunderstood forces. Now, that is going to be a central feature of next year. That's why that's in the center position. That's going to be a very big thing that you can think about throughout the year of 2022. And that, as you move forward, what starts to present itself during the course of this effort in next year is the 7 of Swords. 7 is this number of taking action that has almost a spiritual quality to it. Taking what you know and what you've understood about yourself and discovered and kind of going out into the world and putting it out there, putting it to work, in kind of an official way. And the 7 implies growth in a instinctive, almost spiritual way for yourself and people around you. New awareness, basically. And it's in the realm of the swords, which is sort of in the realm of how you apply your intellect to things and how you deal with conflict. So that 7 is a very positive thing because it's sort of one of the forces that's needed in the world right now, is this ability to sort of benefit everybody, no matter who they are. You know what I mean? No matter what they believe. And so this ability of yours to stick to things, to focus and get through and finish big projects, combined with your ability to handle very deep, strong, mercurial forces, almost forces of nature, your ability to handle that in yourself brings about this spiritual growth and intellectual growth that goes out, radiates out, and helps people. Anyway, it could be, I don't know who it would be, friends or people at work, but it has that effect. Things that decisions you make will move out and sort of help things.
Excellent. Thank you very much. It was a general question, but I'm very happy. Thank you.
Good.
Thank
Let
you.
me see now. I have 2. Let me look at this panel. Okay. Filthy G. Filthy Grinder. Where's Filthy Grinder?
Hey, right here. Sorry.
Filthy Grinder?
Right here.
Ah. Yes. Okay, Filthy G. Come on over here and we're okay. Ask me your question and then we'll pick a number from 1 to 10.
I guess I'm just curious where my romantic life is headed in the next few months, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's like one of life's all important constant questions.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm curious.
Yeah. Okay, in the next few months you're talking.
Yeah, maybe 6 months or so.
Okay. Pick a number from 1 to 6.
7.
Sorry, 1 to 10.
7.
Okay. Hold on. Go hit the button. Two, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay. Wow. Okay. We've had that 4 of Cups show up in that same position earlier this evening. Okay. We've got Cups. We've got the Empress, a major card in the middle, and again we have coins showing up on the right. Subject is romantic life. Coming. Here again, this 4, this symbol of strength and secure trust in your own heart. There's something stable going on here. There's a confidence, there's a security, or perhaps it could be in this situation, because of the nature of the question, it may lean more toward a desire for such security, for such stability with a partner, perhaps. That 4 represents the sense of feeling really at home and comfortable with somebody. It also represents trust in your own heart and your feelings, and you're willing to be guided by your heart. And in other words, you know that if you feel love, you know it's love. That's why it's a 4. Okay, so this is something that's there that would be a factor. We don't have to worry about it so much because it's on the left. Now let's move in to what's right in the middle of everything, what's present moment, and the heart of the issue to think about. The major arcana cards are the big ones that have a more profound effect on you and your actions and thoughts. And she is the ultimate expression of abundance and nurturing and family. She's the ultimate expression of that. Family, home, knowledge of self, and ability to know all those people around you and to benefit them and guide them and make them better and better. That's what she is. She represents a deeply nourishing form of love. So if you apply that to the romantic life, it implies a couple possibilities here, that this could be a person that you are seeking or will meet who has this deep sense of support for those around her, family and growth. I mean, it's a profoundly important card in the romantic realm. But it's also, even if it's not another person that could show up, it's also telling you to think about those qualities in yourself and to let them come out. Now, coming up on the right, something to sort of try and attain, try and think about moving toward or to contend with coming, is this material realm again, realm of your work and things you need. And the 7 number again, just had a 7 card in the last reading, is that sense of new awareness, ability to take things out into the world and benefit. So we are sort of focused here on heart, romance, and there's a sense here of nurturing and family. So the material card with the money and the physical sense over here is suggesting that there's a new sense coming up of using what you have for the benefit of the whole, the group, the world. That world could mean your partner. It could mean your romantic world. It's suggesting that you consider what nurture and true love really means, where support and sustenance are concerned. Something that to think about coming up. It's just sharing. It's the sharing word. The 7, you take what you have learned and you share for the benefit of others. And that may be a dynamic that will inform the romantic life coming up. But this central card is the deeply big factor here in this reading of the nurturing, kind, secure person who is able to bring success to the family. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. Huh. Anyone like a read? Let me see if I have any. You don't have to raise your hand. You can just start talking if you want.
Okay, if anyone else is okay, I would like to ask you for my reading.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I am in between the jobs right now, looking for the next one. And but my problem is that I don't exactly know what I should be focusing on? Like, what is the most important thing for me to decide which job to take and how to find it? Can you do that
Okay.
for?
Yes,
with
and you're
job?
between jobs. Okay, so, okay. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
7. Okay.
Yep.
Go over.
Should I be following you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aha. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Oh, there you are. Okay. So, all right. Naoko, am I saying it right?
Yeah, my name's
Okay.
Naoko. Yep.
All right. On the left,
Mm.
swords,
Oh, okay. 4 of
the
swords.
intellect and belief. Basically, that's the mental realm. The middle,
Okay.
which is sort of, main factor to consider, is a very big card again. This is a major arcana card, and this is judgment. I'll explain it in a
Yeah.
moment. And on the right, again, we have more swords, 3 this time. Again, the mental realm. Okay, between jobs, wondering sort of what to do basically to bring the next thing, how to proceed. Okay, there's a lot of thought surrounds these issues of work and jobs and which way to go, which thing to apply for. Do I know enough for the, if you look at job listings, it can be really scary because you're like, oh my God, this job listed like 10,000 things I'm supposed to know, and I only know 4. Does anybody seriously know all these things? No way. And the fact is, and I know this because most corporations, when they put these job listings together, they exaggerate drastically what's required. In many cases, so your feeling that they're asking for too many things is actually correct. They are asking for too many things. So, but that kind of thinking goes on with these kinds of situations. So there's a lot of thought going on in this reading. 2 of the cards in the reading are representative of mental energy. And the 4, however, strong. The 4 is sort of a secure, stable construction. And that means that you have this ability to think very clearly, rationally. Your logic is good. And that's something you can trust.
Okay.
The 4 can also lead you into being a bit static. It can lead you into maybe trusting a little too much or staying in one thought process a little too long. Turn your speaker down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
It can lead you into being a little, you get stuck on a train of thought for a little bit too long, and then you have to branch out of it at times. You have to sort of kick yourself and go, hey, wait a minute. Why am I thinking about this all the time? I need to switch rails and go over here. That can sometimes happen with the 4. The basic idea is, nonetheless, that you have this intellectual strength and capacity that you can rely on. Now, middle card is the judgment card, the big one. Judgment's very difficult to come to grips with, because it's sort of like, are you missing something that's really obvious? Are you missing a big message? Are you ignoring what your true calling is? Are you paying attention to what you've always wanted? And turn your speaker down just a little bit more. I'm
Oh,
still getting a
Okay. Sorry.
the idea that you need to listen to this calling, a message, something in you knows a direction. At times, you may have trouble hearing it. Like, look at these three people at the bottom. You've got two people sort of looking at the one person in the middle, almost like they're coming up out of a grave. And these two people are looking at that third one, kind of almost a little bit like hoping that they make it. Like they're kind of like, oh, oh, look at her. She's we kind of feel for her. Is she going to make it? Is she going to hear the message, the horn blowing right over her head? You know, it's that idea of messengers from the heavens coming down. It's not necessarily always a religious thing. It's the idea of a message coming from your own mind. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to you, what you feel is your calling. What is it you wanted to do? Maybe you forgot, like you wanted to do when you were 15. Now, maybe you've lost the message a little bit. You listen to it. That's what that card is saying. So, now we move forward into something coming up, which is the 3 of Swords. Intellect again comes in. But the 3 is the card of action. Exploding forward and doing your thing. And it means that your mind, at some point, you arrive at a conclusion and you make a decision and you go for it. And the only way you can do that, with your mind at peace with that, is if you listen to that middle card and pay attention to that idea of what is my whole being telling me silently and secretly every day, little voice, you know, what's the thing I want to be doing? It's telling you to focus on that. It's the paramount thing. And then the card on the right is saying, then your thoughts will start moving and clicking, and your ability and intellect will all start clicking forward, going down the track, and you will achieve it. And there you have that. So pay attention to yourself. Pay attention to your inner voice. Meditate on that, and you'd be amazed what happens. You don't have to. You might be going right now. You're thinking, well, that's crap because I don't know what the voice. I don't know what my calling. But see, the point isn't that. The point is just sit and go. Inner voice. I don't hear anything. But if you keep doing that for a few days, I'm not hearing anything. You'll be amazed what happens. That's the whole point of meditation. You don't have to hear anything. All you have to do is try listening, and then something will happen. 3 weeks might go by, and you're doing it every day, and nothing happens. Nothing. And then, ooh, something goes click. So think about that middle card.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, let's see. Okay, Lisa. Lisa raised her hand at some point. Where's Lisa? Hi, Lisa. Okay. Come on over here and ask whatever you would like to ask.
Oh, I have to ask a question. Oh my gosh.
If you want to. I mean,
You know what? I'm pulling a blank. Can you just? Am I able to shuffle and go with the wind?
oh yeah, you can just say. No, that's totally legitimate. You can just say, hey, I don't have a question. Just give me a general sort of reading, and it could apply in any number of ways. Absolutely.
Sure,
So
we'll go with that.
just pick a number from 1 to 10.
Just pick a number. I'll go with 5.
Okay, hang on, stay right here. 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm back. All right. The court card on the left, it's a wands. The wands are the burning torch of whatever your passion is for making and creating and doing things, any sort of creative force. In the middle, you've got swords. A 7 again. We're getting a lot of the 7, the spiritual growth card. And that's in the wands again, creative. So there are these 2 wand cards on the left and the middle. And then on the right, we get into swords of the intellect again. So I'm going to, because I'm getting some feedback, I'm going to mute people. And that should, I think the sound will be better. I'll unmute you when the time comes. Okay, so on the left now is this valet de baton. In other words, the valet, sometimes called the page of wands. And the page is young and enthusiastic and learning everything and doesn't quite know exactly how to apply these things he or she has, these new skills, these abilities, whatever his talents or her talents are. But it's not in a negative way. It's in the sense of exploration and learning and just coming to grips with new problems and new ideas and all these potential directions to turn in. And not necessarily being ready to make the final decision yet, but enjoying the process of learning. There's always enthusiasm, and you can see the face of the page, the valet, looking off into the horizon above the wand there. Sort of a nice, calm, sort of happy look on his face there. And he's ready to go on the journey across the country to do what it is he wants to do creatively. Talking here, whatever it is you want to make and achieve is embodied in this card. And to enjoy the process of learning what it is you need to do. And not worry about the fact that you don't know yet, because the page has a great time figuring that out. So just enjoy the process. Then in the middle, this is the heart of the issue, sort of coming up. This 7 again, and this is swords, this wands. This is again a reinforcement of the creative drive, and it's this sense of there's change coming. So the page moves forward, sort of learning and enthusiastic and not knowing quite where to go, but there's big change coming up. And to be prepared for it, because this page is going to wander into the next town and be surprised by everything that's there and everything that he or she is asked to do. And he's going to say, oh, yeah, I'll try this, because this is going to present an opportunity for incredible growth. But not only that, the 7 is growth, but it's also the sense of using that development, spiritual development in yourself, using it and putting it in the world, putting it out there, making things better. So that's something to think about. That's coming. That's something you can rely upon encountering. Now, something to try to achieve over on the right side, something you want more of. The 9, in the intellectual realm of swords, the 9 again, persevering, punching through the final wall, to take the fort, to win the battle. That final 9, just 10 of completion. It's getting you there, and you have to have the wherewithal to get there. You have to push and have that quality of sticking to the task, and getting through real sort of disappointment and a sense of, oh my gosh, I can't do it. But that 9 is saying, oh yeah, you have to. you have to think about that as being this 9 that means you're almost there. Just take that one last little push. And that's in the realm of thought and how you apply your intellect to overcoming problems. Train your mind to push through to find the solution. So here you've got this enthusiastic approach, not worrying about some momentary, temporary confusion about decision making. Enjoy that, enjoy the process. Trust the fact that you're able to use your creative powers for the benefit of everyone near you. And seek the discipline of mind to finish. And that's I've unmuted now.
Awesome.
So yeah, so there you go. There's your general sort of thing
Thank
to think
you.
about.
It's actually really true. Like I'm actually learning tarot card reading and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But I actually just started. Like I'm just building the world right now. I'm a social worker, and I'm kind of going to bring it into like here in the VR world to kind of be a service to people here and counseling and group work and stuff. So that's the kind
I
of
like it.
creativity now I'm building here. So kind of offering free services and not over here. So that's why I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And I'm doing a course right now, and I'm struggling trying to finish. And then sometimes I feel like I just want to drop out. But it's like you got to keep going. You got to keep going. So yeah, I can see it.
I like it. And I mean, here's another thing. There's a really good book that a guy wrote, a psychiatrist wrote, because you said you're doing social
I'm
work.
a social worker. I'm a social worker and a teacher. But yeah.
Well, becoming a social worker is not easy, at least not in my state.
Can we talk?
It takes a lot of work.
Can we talk?
And so the fact that you've done that means that you've got that 9 card, that 9 of Swords card. I think you've got that. I think, and but the thing is, I read this book written by a psychiatrist about how he found this incredible use of tarot in his psychiatric practice, and how using tarot cards sort of allowed patients to kind of open up in a different way than he was used to seeing them do.
Right.
And
yeah.
he wrote a whole book about it, and I remember I read it on an airplane, almost the entire book in one flight. It was so fascinating.
Wow.
But
yeah.
it could equally apply.
Yeah, I've been doing it with friends. Like I haven't got the guidebook. Like I didn't go through the guidebook. I kind of just look at them and get what the energy is kind of telling me, and I kind of and they're like, "Oh, you pinned it. It's like, okay, I guess. I'm not sure what to do, but yeah.
I mean, sometimes all you have to do with tarot cards is just, especially with like the Rider-Waite deck, is just look at the pictures and kind of go, what does it just suggest to me right now? Oh, you're waving your hand. Yeah. Hi. Okay. I think you have a question. So that's really good to hear.
I was just wondering,
Go
do
ahead.
you actually read cards here for people or not? Or you just talk about
Oh,
tarot
yeah.
cards?
Oh no, we're doing actual readings. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
What
really?
happens
Where
is
do you do that?
when you ask the question, I go over to the panel in the tent, and I have a JavaScript app where I press the button and it randomizes the 78 cards and pulls 3 out, and they show
that's
on
cool.
the 3 will show up on the screen, and then I'll do the reading with them.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Oh, another one thing.
Yeah.
Like, is there a lineup or like a number we
Yes,
need to take? Or what?
I'm right now going to. You just hit the button that says raise hand.
I'm dead.
Right now, I have some Boff. Where's Boff?
Thank you so much.
I-
Have a good night, hon.
You're very welcome. Good night. Bye, Boff, Boff, Boff.
Alright, well,
Go ahead and ask me what you would like.
alright, I'm leaving. Bye.
Is your microphone on?
You know sign language?
Can do I have anyone? I don't have you muted, do I? No. I don't think your microphone is on. Boff, Boff, Boff.
Yes, I'm pretty sure VR sign language doesn't work very well.
Hi, do you hear me?
Oh, there you go. Now I hear you. Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying that it's quite funny because just like Lisa before me, I'm a social worker and a teacher. So
Yeah.
I guess I'll do like her and I'll ask for a general reading.
Sounds perfect. Pick a number between 1 and 10, or 1 to
Number 8.
8. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. I should probably put that panel out here instead of having to run back and forth to the tent all
No
the
doubt,
time.
right?
So, okay. All right. General reading. Now, coins have arrived on the left. 5. Number of disturbance and upheaval and movement. You've got the wands, creativity, the fire of doing and making. And it's the 9 in the middle, part of the issue. And then we have the Pope image, major card on the right, upcoming factor.
Ability and work is very bright in your future.
Now, let's talk about the left card, the material sense, the work and sustenance, living your life in the sense of things you need to buy and do to gain your job, to please your employer, to get your paycheck. You know, all of those fundamental things are implied in the left card. 5 is the number, something new arriving. A destabilizing factor shows up that can be unsettling, but it indicates potential for change and growth. That's why it's happening. It's saying, okay, the security of the 4, security of your current stability, or what you kind of want to rely on all the time, same thing day after day after day, that's not enough. This 5 is the new element that has shown up. It's saying, hey, now you have to deal with me. So it's some new possibility that's coming in or has come in that you need to deal with. And it may unsettle you and make you uncomfortable. But that's positive growth, discomfort. That's the kind of discomfort we need. And that even though it makes us, it's your ability to handle. We're always saying this at corporate retreats, your ability to deal with change. Nobody at work wants change because they want to be able to do what they're there every day. They change. Oh my God, I have to learn new software. You know, it's like, it's scary, but at times it comes in and it's for the best. I mean, it's not even really, it sort of goes without saying, change is change. You have to, it's like swim or sink. You know what I mean? And that's what the 5 is. You deal with it or you don't. But it's on the left, so it's basically suggesting that's not such a worry. Yeah, I don't have to worry so much about that. I can handle change. It ruffles my feathers a little bit. But I can do it. I can get there. Let's think about something else of more concern than that, because I'll remember that and I'll get that. That's why it's on the left. middle card, this wands again, power of your creative energy. Your will, if you're a social worker and you're trying to help people, there are creative energies that you have to apply in doing that. Just in how you communicate with one single person, your creative energies have to move. I mean, I'm not a social worker, but I can imagine you have to have this, you have to put all of your knowledge together, and you creating an interaction, you're creating something for this person you're helping, creating an environment, say. And that's that 9 is the moving to the goal, persistence, the I know I can get there. I would imagine in social work it could be I know how I can help this person. They don't know it. Nobody else has been able to, but I can get there. 9, because I'm persistent. I insist on getting to the goal. I insist on success. And that is saying, that middle card is saying, that's a huge factor for you. Think about that, because that ability to use your creative powers to solve problems and handle crises in your work anywhere is paramount. It's a huge factor for you to rely on and to think about going forward. Now, coming up, you've got the Pope card, big major arcana, deep psyche. Oh, this is like a big, this constantly shows itself in situations. And teacher. There's a tradition, there's a sense of authority, but also deep learning. There's someone to look up to. I mean, look at the card, the image. There are people literally looking up to someone who is passing things on to them. Benediction. There's a sense of safety and great wisdom. There's also a sense of tradition, reliance on things that have existed before, reliance on something a very important figure has told you, teacher, going back and thinking about your training. That's what that card is. Or it could indicate that you are bringing that training, that teaching to someone. Something is coming. It implies either you looking back or up to someone who has taught you a great deal or will teach you a great deal. Or this is you teaching someone else. But it's something very, very profound coming up for you. This sense of learning, teaching, and relying on the support of someone with great wisdom. So you've got this sense of destabilizing, new opportunity for growth in the physical realm that you don't have to worry too much about, kind of handled, at least psychically. And then you've got the 9, which is perseverance. Use your creative energy and rely on that to get through. And think about where teaching and wisdom needs to be applied. Yeah, unmute. I've unmuted. So yes, that card on the right is, I think, for any social worker, that card on the right probably has a lot of significance. You know.
Well, I believe it may be becoming a teacher, because I just began to teach in a college. And
Yes.
it's been destabilizing.
Yeah. Okay.
So your words are inspiring.
Good. So I know new things, new career elements can have that destabilizing effect for a while. No. But then you master them, and just like the guy on the right, then you bring that, you share it, and you teach others. You know.
Well, I'll be looking for a pope for myself to learn how to teach.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. You're welcome. Let's see now. Oh, some hand raises. Okay. Number 2 is Bob B. Bob B. Oh, is it Bob B? Hi. Bob B, click your left control stick so you come up to a regular level. Click your left control stick down. Oh, yeah, there.
I was
you're...
actually sitting on the floor in real life.
Oh. Okay, Bob. It's your turn.
I want to know if I can make it through college.
Oh, okay. That's a question I remember asking myself 24 hours a day, every day. And yeah, I remember that question.
Well, plus I'm ADHD and autistic. And it's very hard for me. And I actually had to drop out of one class this semester already because it was too hard. So I want to know if I can still... I should go through with college, or I should...
Dude, trust me. I had all kinds of problems when I was in college. This is like something I totally get. Pick a number from 1 to 10.
10.
10. Okay. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I'm back. All right. I'm going to mute people again just so I don't get feedback.
Okay.
All right. College. You're worried about problems and how to get through and whether or not you can finish and all of those very, very normal things to worry about in college. And you have on the left here a big major card called the Tower. Sometimes they call it the House of God. But the basic idea is something big causes a massive sudden change that can be scary as crap. Middle card is the King of Swords, which is brain and thought and everything you apply yourself to in college on a daily basis. And on the right is physical stuff. Could be body, could be money, could be your car, anything physical. And that's 8. Okay. Something that's been going on, perhaps. Maybe you don't have to quite worry so much about at this point is on the left. It's this tower. And you see that there's a crisis there. There's like lids being blown off by some force, and everybody's fallen out and headed to the ground. But you'll also notice this peculiar aspect of the card, which is these weird colored balls in the air floating around. Typically, that's sort of, and not only that, but the people falling don't look particularly concerned that they're falling. In fact, it almost looks like they're trying to find something on the ground. Almost looks like they're kind of suspended and looking for something with their hands. Well, those balls are a big key because those little balls flying around represent a dispersal of energy and a newness, a new something has been created and has seeded the landscape, let's say. And so in the midst of this crisis, upheaval, these people affected by it are looking for these new things that have come about unexpectedly in the middle of this crisis. So here you feel this sense of crisis and nervousness and doubt, but in the midst of it, there's development that you may not even be aware of, that you can find even in this nerve-wracking sort of everything's different now, I don't know what the heck to do sort of crisis time. And that card is a big major arcana card. So that card is saying you have this in you, this ability to find positive growth and new factors that nobody's thought of. You know, and you mentioned the word autistic. You said learning something. You know, a lot of people don't. They, you know, there's different ways of thinking. There's different ways people's brains work, and you find that thing that clicks for you. And that's what this card is showing, that in the middle of turmoil, there's this new thing coming that nobody sees but these two guys that have suffered through it. And they're looking to find those pieces. So you're the only one that can do it. Now, here in the middle, you've got a king with a sword. This is the intellect. This is the mind. And what this is saying is it's a dead center. This is heart of the issue. This is something to think about right now, to seize and hold on to. And that is real mastery. If you're in college, that's what you're looking to do. You're looking to master things. That's the whole point of, that's why they call master's degrees. You're in college and you're bachelor's initially, something like that. But it's all about mastery. So this card is simply reinforcing the fact that you are this totally competent, confident person underneath situation currently of turmoil and doubt. Rely on this strong figure to look. Look how he's holding that sword. I mean, this guy's looking off at somebody standing next to the throne, and he's like, dude, if you don't say the right thing, I've got this sword here and I can take care of business. I mean, so that's what this is saying about college, basically. You've got it. Just rely on yourself. Now, on the right, coming up, you have this 8 in the physical realm, and the 8 has this sense of there's a harmony going on with the 8. Balance, achievement, and the often misused word perfection. And it's in the physical realm. There's a sense of upcoming, something achieved, something gained through your efforts, and it's deeply satisfying to you. You know, the first thing that pops into my head with the subject matter of college is degree. It's a physical thing that's just given to you. That could be what this represents, this perfection. But and college is work. College is your job if you're in college. So that perfectly applies to the coins suit. College is your job, and this 8 implies upcoming perfection and a sense of real balance. So overall, let's look at the trajectory here. You have turmoil and upheaval and discomfort, but you know you have this ability that maybe nobody recognizes to find these new important elements that are seeding your world. Okay? You're finding the treasure in the disaster. In the middle, you have this authority, this ability to confidently use your brain and apply it decisively to problems. And on the right, you have upcoming total perfection and balance in your efforts. Very, very positive, my friend. Very positive. So, I've unmuted you. So, yeah, I like that reading actually. I wish I had had that reading when I was in college. It would have a little bit. So, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it.
This is my first tarot reading.
Oh, good.
Ever.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope that you will go and have another one at some point.
When's the next one? I might come back then.
Absolutely. I haven't. This is the first one in this world that I've built, so I'm going to try and do. I won't schedule them on a calendar yet. I'll do a few more at various times and see how it goes, and then try and get a solid schedule for them. So enjoy the rest of college, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now
It's been
have.
very hard to decide. It's been very hard to decide which secondary degree I want to go into. So either.
Oh, of course.
The first degree I'm going into is definitely coding, because that's one of my biggest goals. Is to one day, and it's a long-term goal, code for the makers of Minecraft called Mojang.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm a coder, and I think you should pursue it, because
Or either do robotics engineering.
I think that sounds.
Those are the two decisions I'm giving myself. And
That sounds. Both of. I don't think you can go wrong.
I don't think I can go wrong either, but I'm wanting to not have to go through college as long as I hope it doesn't go.
Yeah, I know. I know the feeling.
You know.
Yeah. Emily. Emily is a hand raise. So where's Emily? I'm looking around. Emily?
He was right over there and just disappeared.
Oh, Emily went away?
No, hey guys, I'm here. No,
Oh.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I see you. I see
Do you
him.
see me? I have to like figure out how to turn around in here. I'm pretty new in this environment. So.
I see. Oh, are you like on a PC or something?
I'm on a PC and I don't have a headset. I'm in 2D.
I know. It took
I
me a
see you
while to
now.
figure out how to turn around and stuff in the 2D one. Yeah, I know what you mean.
2D.
But it's okay. You can stay like that. You don't have to turn around.
Good
You
now.
can just
I mean,
ask.
I can see you and I can see the display of cards.
Oh, good. Okay, so go ahead and ask your question.
Hey, I've never had a tarot reading before, so how does it work?
Well, you just ask some question that is what you want to ask, and I will ask you to pick a number from 1 to 10, and I will basically press a button that number of times to randomly pull 3 cards onto the screen, and then I'll do your reading for you.
So it's a question on what I should do in life, or is there a,
What up, bro?
Any other kind
You
of
can ask what
questions to ask?
you can ask any kind of question you want.
What are you doing, tarot?
Well,
Tarot?
it's been a rough time during the pandemic,
Yeah,
and I lost my job, and my
Oh,
mom
for real?
died, and a whole bunch of stuff's
bro,
happened that made it difficult for me
Yeah.
come
to
over here.
pull up to a very positive and chipper attitude. So
Okay.
I'm feeling like I'm on an upswing on that and been looking for work. I don't yet have a job, but maybe I should ask the cards if I will get work soon. Does that work? Is that a good question?
Sure. Yeah, it's not going to tell you specifically if you'll get a job next week, but it'll give you sort of things to think about that might sort of help you get in frame of mind to get there.
Well, I've been submitting my resume and interviewing and considering additional kinds of work, such as sales type of work. I'm a webinar producer, so I'm
Okay.
that's my technical specialty is producing webinars. I would like to
Okay.
ask the infinite if it sees me going in the right direction.
Excellent. Pick a number from 1 to 10.
7, please.
What number? Sorry.
7.
7.
17.
Okay, hang on. One, 2,
Yeah, we'll see.
4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right. I'm going to mute people so that I don't get feedback. All right. Emily, you've got 3 cards up there on the screen now. On the left, you have a Wands card. That is the card of creative energy in all realms of creative endeavor. Very much applies to work. People have to be very creative in their work in order to really achieve and get things done. In the middle, you have a Knight of Wands, again a Wands creative energy card. And on the right, you have the coins again showing up, the physical, the money, also representing work. This is a very good set of cards for work, by the way. It'll become more clear why as we go. Now, we're concerned about getting something. We have on the left this 5. Stability has been upset. Something is needed, something new to happen. Some factor has changed things. It could be the fact that you don't have a job. It could be your job life is changing, and it creates problems. It creates nervousness. It creates a little bit of destabilizing discomfort that you have to deal with. But that's on the left. That means that you don't need to worry about it so much. That's something you can handle. It's something that it's saying, okay, yeah, this is uncomfortable, but your creative energies and abilities and your creative drive, that general sense in a person of applying themselves to creating things, finding new ways of doing things, something you don't have to worry so much about because you probably have dealt with it before. You probably know how to get there. In other words, some instability, it's okay. It's going to go. It's going to recede. Don't worry so much about it. That's why it's on the left. That takes you, when you let go of that worry, that allows you to come into the middle card, which is again your creative energy of the wands. And it's the Knight, Cavalier de Baton. That is the knight on a horse. That is the big signifier of action, the ability to seize the moment and jump in and grab it and go move forward. And you can almost at times be a little reckless. You can move too quickly when you see this knight's energy. But general implication is that that's just saying, oh, just make sure you don't move too quickly. Don't be too impulsive. But what that's showing is use an energy of yours. Get out there and move forward and seize the day. And this, for some reason, this card is showing in the middle saying, seize the day. Keep that in mind. When the opportunity shows itself, grab it. Because the knight is fearless and does things. Takes charge, basically. Now that leads you, that energy, that ability to take those risks and take action leads you to the final card, which is 2 of coins. And look how the two is the sense of coupling, bringing together 2 forces, possibly opposites, but they come together and unify in preparation for big development and action. Look at what this symbol is doing. The 2, as they come together, begin to form that symbol of infinity. And that ribbon, that blue ribbon around the 2 ends of the ribbon are coming together to connect. And you will then have that symbol of infinity, the 8 symbol, which implies success and infinite possibility for future growth in the job realm. That's why it's in the coins suit. So overall, the arc of your reading shows this discomfort, wanting to apply your creative energies, but there's some discomfort around that. But don't worry so much. Let it drift away. Come into the middle and rely on seizing the day, the moment, and taking definitive action. Don't be afraid, because you've got that ability. And that leads you finally toward this upcoming accumulation of wealth, accumulation of elements that come together, causing this huge possibility. And there you have it.
So I should say that even though it's uncomfortable not having income, I shouldn't worry so much. And there's basically a knight indicating I have everything I need in me to get what I need to do done, and then that there is something positive going to come to me.
I think that's an excellent summarization. Anyone who can summarize a reading that skillfully is definitely going to be working somewhere very soon.
Well, the name of my my little company has the word creative in it.
Yeah.
So maybe, this was a great reading, I think, for the very first one in my life. I want to thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks.
Let me go and see. Okay, so, Waffles. Waffles is up. Where's Waffles? I'm looking for Waffle. Is this Waffles? Hi.
Oh, hi.
Okay. It's your turn to ask
It's my
a
turn?
question.
Okay.
You go ahead.
So I just asked a question?
That's right.
Any question?
Any question.
Like, no matter what the question is.
No matter what I can't decide the question, only
I
you
ask
can.
it out loud?
Totally.
There has been some issues. I guess I want to know if it's gonna get better.
There's been an issue, and you're wondering.
I'm wondering if, I guess, mentally wise, things are gonna get better.
Okay, I totally get you. So yes, there's been some mental issues, some thought-based issues that you're concerned about. Is it going to get better? Very simple. Okay, pick a number from 1 to 10.
Hot.
5. Okay, I'm going to go in there and change the cards 5 times.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, okay. All right. Oh my gosh, there's the Pope card again. All right, waffles. So there's a 9 of swords, mental. The swords are deeply intellectual and mental. On the left, something that we can sort of let fall away from us a little bit. Now, in the present moment, staring us in the face in the middle, ace of the same suit, mental again, ace. And on the right, we have the big hope card. Okay. Let's look at the left card, the 9 of swords. And I've explained before, earlier this evening, the 9, we've got that number quite a few times tonight. A big factor tonight for a lot of people. And that 9 represents the idea of pushing through. You're almost there. You're almost at the end of a cycle, difficult, long, and hard, perhaps, but you're almost through it. The 9 leads to the 10. The 10 is the final card in every set of number cards. Okay. But the 9 is the one that's saying you have a little bit more to do or to go through. But stick to it. Keep yourself down in the trench and keep doing the work that's required. Apply yourself even with more energy than you did in order to complete this development you need, you need to complete. And because this card is on the left, the suggestion is this isn't such a worry right now. You've got it. You know you're going to do this. You know you're going to apply yourself. You're not going to drop the ball. So you can kind of not worry. You may have dropped the ball in the past, but you know now you're ready to complete your development. That leads you to the next step, which happens right away, right now. This sudden awareness of the ace, again in the mental swords realm, this idea of something big and new occurring to you, a new way of looking at things, a new development mentally, intellectually, presents itself and makes you aware that there's incredible potential and all these different possibilities to open to you. That's what the ace always represents: incredible opportunity and possibility. And then that moves us forward. We've got all this mental energy moving us to the final card, which brings us into the realm of the teacher, the master, the religious, spiritual guide who has a profound effect in the world upon people who look up to him or her. And that is something for you to think about. There may be a person that you talk to or know, learned from, that plays a huge role for you. And you can think about what they have to tell you. And you can consider it, ponder it. It's basically, because it's a big card, it's a major arcana card, it's basically saying this is something deeply important to your development and psyche, is to have this ability to learn. Flip side of that, though, is also your ability to teach. The general sense of teaching and learning. That's what this card is about. Also, because he's a religious character, the sense of ritual and tradition, and relying on stable things that seem kind of boring, but they provide safety. So often this card could be representing some sort of a helper. Some people say it represents a therapist. Other people, a professor, or a priest, or an imam, or a rabbi. You know what I mean? It applies in all those ways. General envelope of message is the sense of safety and trust and learning. Think about that as something to move toward. So you've got this insistence on persevering in your mental work. Keep up the work, because in the middle it brings this big new sense of incredible possibility. And seek the learning environment. Seek knowledge, seek mastery. There you have that.
That's creepy. That's scary because that's on point.
Well,
That scared me.
I'm telling you, tarot is weird that way. How it just because you read tarot cards doesn't mean you necessarily know how they work. You know what I mean? It's kind of mysterious.
That's creepy. Yo.
I know. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. All right, now let me check this panel. I think oh no, there's not, I don't have a handwritten. Yeah, tarot, just in general, when you do tarot, it always has something to offer. Even if you don't really know how to read cards, there's still something, because they're pictures, so you can still get something from them. So, yeah. And it's a good set of readings tonight, I think. People have had some
Are
really
we
good
allowed
questions.
to ask you questions?
Oh yeah, you can ask any. You can ask whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm really interested. I wanted to say thank you again. I think that you're a very positive force. I used to be, well, I still am very cautious about things with the occult, because I didn't ever want to be, stumbling into something that winds up sticking to me in a weird way or something. So I've always kind of avoided things, but I was just happened to be alt space at the right time to see that you had this event, and I thought, well, I'm interested to find out more about it. And I never didn't dream I was going to get a tarot reading this evening.
Well, yeah.
But you said
I'm
something
glad.
that was really intriguing, because powers of the universe are very multidimensional, and like you said, even if you don't understand how it works, it works.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm going to flip around here. I've been standing in that same, been looking in the same angle like the last 2 hours. Yes, you're absolutely right. It just somehow works, and I don't know what it is that makes that happen.
How long have you been doing readings like that?
Oh, years. Well, I mean, usually my readings have been in the real world with cards in my hand. Then I started doing live stream readings on Twitch with actual deck of cards, and that's really fun. But then I also had this alt space, another tarot world set up that was much smaller than this. And recently there's been all this talk about the metaverse and stuff, in the news, and
yeah,
all these, all this sort of metaverse, this metaverse, that. I was like, this metaverse thing actually is pretty cool. And alt space actually is the best one of these virtual reality social apps. It really is. And so I was like, you know what? I just want to expand what I'm doing in alt space and make it better. So I spent the last week building a new world. And I decided, well, let me just get a little bit more serious about doing the readings in alt space, because it's just good to be, it works with the avatars in VR talking to people. Somehow it really works. You really communicate with people.
Right. Well, we don't have to worry about if our makeup looks good.
Well, that's right. All you have to worry about is whether you choose the right hair color from the menu.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when I do webinars, it's always a big deal because they want us on camera too. So it's like, well, darn it, there's another whole hour involved in putting on the makeup and making my hair look good, and the background, does it look clean and everything like that. Which is all, on top of the actual job, right?
Totally. Yes. Well, the whole webinar thing sounds like an interesting career. No.
It is. It is. It's just that when
And
COVID
ultimately,
came, I lost my audience.
well, I mean, look, you're going to get it back because we need webinars. I mean, they make things more efficient.
Right, they do.
Right?
They help a lot. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I have to. Oh, somebody's raised their hand. Let me see.
Hey.
Scat cats.
That's me.
Where's scat cats? Scat.
I'm right here. Right here.
Hi, scat cats. Okay.
Hi.
It's your turn to ask any question you can figure out to pull out of the air.
And I have to have a question because I don't really have a question. I'd just like to know maybe what the cards would say, just in general. Can you do that?
Absolutely, yes, of course. So pick a number between 1 or from 1 to 10.
7.
Okay, I'm going to go and make the cards rearrange themselves 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Now I'm going to mute everyone so that there's no feedback. I always do that when I do the reading. Okay, so it's a general reading. Now, look up at the screen and you'll see over here, there's the left card is the swords, the mental realm, and the 6. 6 is an interesting number. And in the center, we have the Knight of Swords. So we've got 2 swords cards leading us to the last card, which is Lamat, the Fool, an incredibly great card in the major arcana of the tarot. Okay. And it's a rather general reading. So let's just think about what the suggestion it's making to us, sort of something to kind of think about in the next little while as you move forward. And what you've got here on the left is something you can kind of not worry so much about. You can kind of let go of your concerns about it. The 6. 6 is the number of things that have beauty and attract. And it's in the intellectual realm. So it can represent the beauty of thought, intellectual pursuit, relief, sort of beauty in the abstract. Also, it can represent how you handle conflict with grace, with harmony, and you try to create harmony, and you want people to seek attraction rather than repelling, rather than antagonizing. So that 6 is that general tendency to harmonize and bring together and attract, the force of attraction. And it's leaning toward the realm of conflict and thought, mental energy. And it's saying, you have the capability. So let's trust that it's there and we can move on from it. And what we lead ourselves into is the next big step forward, intellectually or in resolving conflicts. And that is Knight. Knight card on the horse takes action. Specific, clear action. And isn't afraid. Puts all fears aside, gets on the horse, and boom, goes out, rumbling down the road to finish off the fight. You have this decisive ability, and this card is in the middle, so it's saying, focus on that now. You have already, you have this general tendency to figure things out, to bring things together, to create attraction, create something positive and beautiful. Now, take action. It's required. And don't worry. Don't doubt yourself. You can take this action. Which then leads to a deep, deep, profound card of the Fool. Fool is the card, it doesn't have a number. He's the start of the great journey of the tarot. Sets out, or she. I say he because this happens to be a picture of a he. But these cards are representative of anyone and everyone. And he or she sets out on this journey as the positive fool. Not the fool of a bumbling idiot, but the fool in the sense that, come what may, I don't mind. Let things happen to me, bring them on. And you can see in the picture, the fool is moving forward, has a few things he's carrying with him, has a walking stick. He's also sort of being scratched at, his clothes are being torn by this little dog, and the fool is like, that's what dogs do. Doesn't bother me. That's what dogs do. Okay, he's coming along with me. I don't care if he tears my clothes. Not a big deal. In fact, he's my guy. I don't care if he scratches me and I have to put a Band-Aid on. He's still my guy. In other words, what could cause conflict, what maybe has caused conflict for other people, this guy, it's nothing. And he's happy nonetheless, no matter what. That's why people call him the fool, because they think, oh, well, that's stupid. But actually, fool is the person that starts the whole tarot moving forward down its path. Fool is the guy that actually is us, going through the stages of the tarot. The fool is like us regular people. So, it's saying, now, it's saying, this is a quality that you have of being able through the course of this whole reading, these 3 cards, to resolve conflict, intellectual or otherwise, in a very harmonious, beautiful manner, bringing things together, and an ability to take correct action, put fear aside in this sense of the knight, putting fear aside, but you're also able to take this even deeper personality trait, putting fear aside in this joyful sense of the fool card, able to enjoy the process of not knowing everything and learning more and seeking out on an adventure. So there's some resolution that's coming because of what you do that may lead you on some kind of a journey of development to the next thing, but it comes as a great pleasure. So there's a general, very general reading. But the Fool is always, I love getting the Fool card in my own readings. You know, because it kind of, I can blunder around quite a bit, and if I get the Fool card, it makes me feel a little bit better about that. So let me unmute.
Very much. Okay.
You're very welcome.
Great. Yeah, thank you. That
Yep.
was really spot on for a general reading, so I appreciate you.
That's really good. Okay, let me see the panel here for, okay, Althena.
Yes, I heard you.
Let me see.
Yes. Hello. So.
Okay, where's Althena?
Mimi.
Oh, is this the big board?
Oh, there you
here?
are. Sorry, I was looking right at you.
Oh, no problem. Maybe the colors.
Okay, so you just ask your question, and I will make the card show up on there.
So, I have to ask about something in my life, and then you are going to read the cards.
Yes.
Let's see. The career.
Career. Yes.
If I, well, I don't know if I get to have a direction in my career.
Okay, so you're thinking about direction.
Yeah, like lost.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I think that's all we need. Let me pick a number from 1 to 10.
Oh, the first number that came to my mind was the 5.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make the cards 5 times. 1, 2, 3.
Oh dear. You're sleepy.
5. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you see the cards now, Althena.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about what they are suggesting. I'm going to mute everyone just to keep feedback down. All right. On the left, we have swords again. Mental energy. The sword is thought and intellect. And then in the center, we have the Wheel of Fortune card, big major card. Okay. And then on the right, another big major card. I think you're the first reading tonight that's had 2 major cards in it. And that's the Sun card. Okay. So, and we're talking here career, that kind of thing. Right away, we're hit with the mind, the intellect, what you think about, and conflict, that kind of thing. And you're dealing here with the 4, which is stable. The 4 is strong. There's a strong mind here. There's strong, confident intellectual strength here. There's something you know and are able to do in your intellectual life that you have always relied on. Some kind of a power. And you can trust that, not worry so much about that anymore. You can let that kind of go. You have it. That's why I left. Now, trusting in that and letting it kind of go and not be such a concern leads you into the Wheel of Fortune, which is this cycle of change in life and how one must do these things for oneself. So the Wheel of Fortune has a handle. Notice it's got these little creatures, but it's a handle on the right side. That means you have to take that handle and turn the wheel. You know, you have to grab it and turn the wheel in order to make things change and move forward. So this is saying, because it's in the middle, this is something for you to really consider. Change doesn't happen. Change is caused by you. It's not something you wait for, it's something you do. So the next step for you is going to be caused by you seizing control. That's what this card is saying. And what comes from that, from seizing control and making the change that's required, is this sense of incredible growth and joy and cheer and friendship and community and like finding someone and sharing. And that's what that sun is suggesting. This, the sun nurtures everything and things grow, and these children are down here and they're playing in their village somewhere and they're being showered with the radiance from above, and it's all implying making things joyful and playful, fun, and that seems to be suggesting you can find this through your own efforts if you take a serious look at moving things forward through your own initiative. I've unmuted everyone. There you have a basic idea.
Oh dear. The only thing is deciding something. And like the chronic indecision of
Well, indecision, yes, and indecision. These cards are suggesting is, yes, indecision happens, and indecision can make you stand still.
yes.
What the Wheel of Fortune card is saying is, you have to move the handle, and you don't necessarily know what that will lead to. But so what? So what? None of us know. We never know. We never know when we get in our car the next day if we're going to be in a traffic accident, or we never know anything. So the Wheel of Fortune is saying indecision is usually it creating stasis. It creates frozen situations. So you have to push that thing. You have to turn the handle to make a decision one way or another. And then it leads, in your case, it's suggesting something really enjoyable. That sun card.
Well, at least there is a happy ending.
Yes, I know.
Oh yeah. Like after all the suffering, at least the hope is there.
There's a happy ending. I mean,
I guess
absolutely.
some other readings, the results can be very different.
Well, I mean, readings don't tell you what is going to happen to you specifically. Readings tell you basically, hey, have you thought about this? Maybe you should think about that a little more, and who knows what'll happen. That's what tarot really does. It gives you just a little suggestion. It gives you a little hint. Yeah. So there you go. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, there is... I did Althena, right? I got Althena already, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes, I have chemistry.
Hi there.
Chemistry. Hi, chemistry.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm sorry, I got a dog here. So I did have a question. I'm one of those who sees a lot of angel numbers. But recently I've been seeing a lot of ones like on the daily, like 10 to 15 times a day. And like I just want to get a little bit more clarity on what that angel number is trying to tell me this time around in my life.
So wait, you explain to me what it is you're seeing. What are these numbers?
Multiple ones, like 1111, 111, all the time.
I mean, you're talking about like literally numbers.
Number series, yeah.
So you're looking at like numbers on paper, and you're seeing, why am I seeing these numbers with
Yeah,
lots of
numbers
ones
on
in them?
paper, clocks, just everywhere. Yeah.
So you're like, okay, so I'm seeing a lot of 1 digits, and what is that? Why? Why is that a message? Is based. Ah, okay. Okay, so pick a number from 1 to 10.
I'm gonna go with 1. 1.
Okay, hang on. One. Ah,
chemistry.
Wheel of Fortune stayed.
It's an angel number.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen a lot of angel. Yeah.
Okay, so what is the message of these ones? Okay. Well, we got over here on the left again, the Wheel of Fortune. And I was just sort of explaining about this number, this card, how it is, seize the wheel of your life, make things happen, make things change, make the next step. And it's all up to you to do that. That's why the Wheel of Fortune is a mechanical device that has to be operated by you on the card. It's a picture of a machine that you have to turn. So message there is, take that step and make things happen. Now, in the middle, you've got an 8 in the realm of swords and the thinking, the intellect. Okay, so 8 is perfection, balance, your thinking, your mind. There's a natural balance. There's a natural perfection that you tend to seek. You tend to want. Maybe that's why you're looking at these ones. Maybe these ones, maybe they represent some form of perfection. A 1, like these columns, these big columns that are here in this world. It's a singular object. It's a focus. It's a sense of focus. The 1 in tarot is called the ace, just like in a regular deck of cards for poker. Ace is the 1. And the 1 represents infinite possibility and energy and preparedness. So the ones somehow are also they're represent, and the 8, you've got this sense of balance and perfection. So it's almost like the perfection of the 1, singular focus. And because that's a swords card, it's talking about the mind. So it's saying focus. Focus on what it is you need to be thinking about to get where you want to go. Focus on it, put everything into it, and you achieve this perfection, balance. And that leads us to another sword card, which is the king. The king of swords is masterful. He has mastered the power of his own mind and thinking. So you've got this 1 that you're seeing everywhere in 11 things. And it looks to me the message is one of making your own decision to do something you need to do to change your life, something you want to accomplish. Do that. And you will find this natural balance in your thinking and your thoughts. You will resolve conflicts around you. And you can seek ever more skill and strength in your ability to apply your intellect. So the message is one of take action and use power you know you have in your mind, your intellectual capacity. Use it and develop it. And the 1 must be constantly showing up because, I mean, look, he's holding a sword straight up. He's holding a sword, like a 1. I mean, it's a very sort of decisive symbol, the 1. I mean, in digital world of computers, you've got 1s and 0s. You know, the 1 is like the positive end of the battery, positive energy. And that may be what's going on here. Because when you notice things like this, it's really because I think you want to notice them. Your mind unconsciously is telling you to look at them. So trust your mind. This reading is focusing you back on your own thinking and how to trust your own intellect.
That's good. That's so good. Great reading.
Very good. So I'm going to have to wrap up the event. It's now, what time is it? It is, yeah. Okay. It's 8:15 my time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have been great. It's been a really fun. And I hope you come back to all my reading events.
All right, nice meeting you.
Hey,
Good
Chemistry,
meeting you
I'm
too.
sorry I interrupted you. I didn't mean to say anything when you were just getting started on your reading.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, I know about angel numbers. But yeah, it's been one of those situations where it's so often that I'm like, I don't even know what it means anymore. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
right.
trust the cards and rely on your thought process.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna leave you guys now. I'm on my way. See you.
See you, Max.
see
Thank
Have a good
you.
night, everybody.
All right, night.
Bye. Bye.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you.
See ya. All right.
Bye, honey. I guess he just goes away.